economist, Douglas Holtz-Eakin, president of the American Action Forum. Earlier, Dr. Holtz-Eakin served as director of the Congressional Budget Office. So, Doug, thanks so much for being with us. Let me give you a reaction we got yesterday from Gina Raimondo, the Secretary of Commerce, to the CPI numbers before the PPI come in. This is what she said.
It is good news, although I do think we have to be cautious. A big reason for the good news, gas prices are leveling off, and that's certainly helpful to consumers. But as you point out, there are other issues like in housing that we have to still keep our eye on the ball. As we've said all along, there's no silver bullet here.
That was Gina Raimondo, the Secretary of Commerce. So, Doug, let me get your reaction. Are you cautious as well? How high should our hopes be right now on the inflation front?
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about some premature spiking of the football here. It's good news that gas prices came down. That drove both the CPI and the PPI. But if you look at the Consumer Price Index, core inflation was unchanged year over year at 5.9%, so no progress at all. Shelter price inflation, 1/3 of the CPI, was up to 5.7%, another 0.1% increase year over year. And that's been rising since January 2021, uninterrupted, no sign of abatement. So it's hard to look at that report and say, gee, we've made great progress. It looks like more of the same to me. I think it bakes in a 75-point increase by the Fed, and there's nothing about, nearly double-digit producer price inflation that should cause anyone to relax either. So this looks like an economy that remains too hot. The labor market's hot. The inflation is not abating. It's staying about the same. And we've gotten some movement in the volatile energy sector. That's not a surprise.
So at the very least, it looks like, for the moment, it is one data point, two now with CPI and PPI, when at least it's not getting worse. It's not getting worse as fast as we thought. So the question in part I have is, if it is peaking, what does this curve look like on the downward slope?
So I hope it's not going to get worse. I think the real litmus test is when we get the PCE price index, the Fed's preferred measure for July. When we looked at that data in June, it accelerated. So we were going the wrong direction in June. Hopefully in July we see it turn around and start to go down, in which case inflation will have peaked. And I can see a path back to, say, 4% inflation that really doesn't look too difficult for the Fed. But from 4 to 2, it looks like heavy sledding to me. It's going to be a difficult, long process. And so I think if you're interested in full employment, price stability, where the latter is defined as 2% inflation, you've got some months, if not years, of real work ahead of you.
Well, one of my questions, Doug, is exactly what's the time horizon on the 2? I mean, it strikes me it might be different if you say 5 years to 2 as opposed to 18 months to 2.
So when Chairman Powell announced the basic framework for rate increases, portfolio shrinkage, he envisioned sort of moving as expeditiously as possible to neutral, and I think they've been trying to do that, and getting back to 2% in 3 years. And so that says something like 2025. I think that's doable. I don't think sooner than that is very likely, and I'm not sure the public has patience for longer than that. It remains to be seen.
Well, and part of my question is, assume that they can make it in 3 years to 2, what does it do to growth? That is to say, what the Fed needs to do to get us there, what does that mean potentially for growth?
I think the real issue on growth is not the cyclical piece. I, like everyone else, believe that the probability of a recession early next year, perhaps late this year, is up significantly. That the lesson of history is that the Fed finds it extremely hard to manage a soft landing, and we're quite likely to have a mild recession. I think we can recover from that mild recession with the reliance on the private sector. I don't think we're going to need any sort of big government intervention. And that then raises the question, what does growth look like after that? What is the trend rate of growth? Where will the productivity growth come from? We've had terrible productivity growth. So that's things like, investment in innovation, investment in capital, human skills, tax and regulatory policies that foster that kind of an environment. And I don't see anything on the congressional or administrative agenda that looks anything like that.
Well, it's not on the agenda anymore, but it's because it just got done. What about the Chips and Science Act? What about the Inflation Reduction Act? Because there's a fair amount of investment, including in innovation in there. Do you think that might help us some on the productivity?
So on the Chips and Science, I'm not a big fan of the chips. I don't see why U.S. semiconductor companies that know that Taiwan's no longer a safe place to have chips wouldn't just build their fabs with their own money somewhere else. They certainly are capable of doing that. $52 billion is not a lot of money from the perspective of what's out there in the private capital market. So that looks like more politics and corporate welfare than anything else to me. On the other part, the science part, you can spend money. You might make some scientists better off, and the real question is what innovation we get for it. And I think the jury's still out on that. So it would be great if that did prove to be something in the way of a productivity enhancer, but I guess I'm waiting for that case to be proven as opposed to assuming it's right. And as far as the Inflation Reduction Act, it's not going to reduce inflation. While we have been debating this and watching it and talking about it every day, Congress passed the CHIPS and Science Act. That's $300 billion of deficit finance spending, offsetting anything that's in the IRA. They also passed a PACT Act that's $600 billion of deficit finance spending, so overwhelming whatever you get out of the IRA. So there's nothing Congress is up to that's going to help on the inflation front. And it may have done something on the innovation front, but the jury's still out.
Well, and finally, Doug, just let me ask you about that corporate welfare point that you made. $52 billion is not that much in the overall scheme of things. We had Gina Raimondo, the former Commerce Secretary, on yesterday. She thinks there's a multiplier. There could be 5, 6, or even more times that it could be as much as $400 billion coming out of the 52. You've studied the economy for a long time as an economist. Is that plausible?
No. I mean, we're at full employment. And so if you multiply by 5, that $52 billion, and turn into a $250 billion outlay for semiconductors, it has to come from somewhere. That means some other part of the economy has to shrink by $250 billion. The issue is not this government reallocating the capital. The issue is getting the economy as a whole to grow so that you can accommodate both the private sector investing in fabs and doing the other things. So I find those estimates, they're convenient politically, but they're not to be believed.
Doug, it's really always so helpful to have you on with your analysis. Thank you. That's Douglas Holtz-Eakin of the American Action Forum. Coming up, we're going to talk with former Secretary of